better on this stage. Starting off today, we got Philadelphia Fusion taking on New York Excel. I think Philly's a good team, but I think New York is a very good team. And coming off a terrible performance their last time out, I think that they're going to really bounce back in a big way and get a nice win to improve to 8-0 and get their stage 2 in the right direction. Second, we got Boston Uprising in stage 2. I think that there will be certain maps where it's not run, but there will be maps where it's still run. And I actually like Boston here. If Atlanta still had Dufran, I would probably pick them, but I think there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period because he was playing in nearly all of the maps and was doing a good job on the Zarya. So if it is GOATS, they're going to need somebody to fill that in. So I like Boston here. They did trade away Note, and they brought in RCK, so that will be a bit of an adjustment for them as well. But I think that they will still manage to get the win here. I think they're a bit more solid. I think Atlanta's going to be a bit of hot and cold, and I think that it will be a very close series, but Boston will take it 3-1. Moving on to the third match, it's got Shanghai Dragons taking on the Los Angeles Gladiators. So 2, 3, and 4 teams trying to get to 500 more, but Shanghai is definitely not. They're definitely not slouches at this point. I think they will make it a competitive match, but the Gladiators will take it at the end 3-1. I could see that one being a 2-1 as well. Then the final match of the day, again, 2, 3, and 4 teams. So a couple of important matches early on for teams who wanna. You can go a couple different ways from like the 3 and 4 stage. You can get to 500 and start to build off of that, or you can start to fall much lower. And I think that Guangzhou has the big advantage here over Paris. I think Paris, until I see them kind of find their confidence, I don't really like them in most matchups. I think that Guangzhou is still playing well. 2 of their losses last stage were against the champs, the Vancouver Titans. And I just think that Guangzhou is playing better Overwatch right now. If Paris forces it into typical 3-3 Rhine Goats, then they could get a slight advantage. But I think on like the control maps, Guangzhou will have a definite advantage. And if they're able to take it away from Goats, I think that they'll definitely have the edge there. So I'm gonna say that one goes to. I'm gonna say it goes to 5. I think Paris will take the escort maps, the hybrid and then the straight escort map, because Guangzhou has not looked good on those at all. But for Guangzhou, as long as you get to map 5, I think they're good. I think they're much more suited for control than Paris is. So moving on to Friday, we got London Spitfire opening up against the Florida Mayhem. So 3 and 4 Spitfire against 1 and 6 Mayhem. I'm gonna pick Spitfire here. I mean, I'm not the most confident about this pick, just because Spitfire have often played down to their opponents. They almost lost to Washington earlier in stage 1, and while I think they are playing better than they were towards the end of stage 1, they did lose to Shanghai in a must-win game to make the playoffs, and I don't think that bodes well for them. So I think Florida takes a map here, but Spitfire will take it 3-1 in not a super well-played game, I don't think. Following up that, it's the Washington Justice taking on the Toronto Defiant. Washington did get their first win in their last match of Stage 1, but I do not think they'll get their second win here. Another easy matchup for Toronto, who has done well in when they've played weaker teams. They are 5 and 2, and I think they're going to improve to 6 and 2. I think this will be a 4-0 sweep. Washington will probably try to be incorporating Arc, but I don't have confidence in them in a GOAT matchup against Toronto in any sort of way. And even if they're able to flex off into more of the DPS strategies, I still don't love their chances. Toronto is a very solid team, and they're going to take that series easily. Then you got the LA Valiant, the only team not unbeaten, the only team that's winless. They're 0-7. They're trying to take on the runner-ups for Stage 1, San Fran's top teams in the league. I'd probably put them at number 3 right now. Valiant haven't won a game, and I don't think this is the time that they do. It really sucks for them. That's besides playing like New York or Vancouver, I think that's like the worst possible matchup I would take for starting off the new stage. So I think they will drop to 0-8. I think Valiant will take the last map. I think San Fran will go up 3-0, and then maybe lay off the pedal a little bit, and then Valiant will be able to take it. Valiant have also looked pretty decent on escort maps, so we'll see if they can manage to take the escort map away. And then the final match, we have a double dosing of Gladiators these 2 days. It's LA versus the Seoul Dynasty. So it's the rematch. Seoul beat them 3-1 in the first in their first matchup in stage 1. So will Gladiators get their revenge? This was definitely the hardest one for me to predict all these 2 days, and looking forward to the rest of the stage. This might be like the toughest one of all of them, honestly. But I'm gonna go with the Seoul Dynasty. I picked against the Gladiators a couple times and they've proven me wrong, so I'm kind of hoping they will again. The map pool is a bit different because they're playing on Watchpoint, which hasn't been seen yet, and they're playing on Paris, which hasn't been seen yet, and then Oasis as well, which hasn't been played on in a while. So I think this one is very close. Their last matchup was very close. Seoul did win it 3-1, but it very could have easily gone to the 5th map. Seoul just barely won the fourth map of that series. So I think they will go to 5. I think it'll be very tightly contested, but I can't pick against Fissure going up against his previous teams. And I think that in the end he'll clutch it out, and Seoul will win the best matchup of these 2 days, in my opinion, 3-2. So those are the predictions for these 2 days of OWL. I'm super excited for it to be back. It felt like it was a super long time. It was like a week and a half, but it felt really, really long. So hopefully you guys are excited to watch the matches again. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have yourselves a great couple days, and I'll see you for predictions on Saturday and Sunday.